What's good, guys? What's up?
What's up? What's up?
All right, so let's kick things off. Hey, what's good, everyone? Welcome to our latest and this week's show, Geeked Out Live. Um, so it's hosted by me, Night Terrors, my co-hosts Emerald Knight and Sid Vicious Toys.
That guy. Wait, that
Yeah.
guy.
Well, I said both of y'all, so you can point at each other. You did it
No,
right.
you said him, and I was pointing. Anyways, it's pointing this way.
Anyway, so let's get it cracking. So
Cool.
what's up with you guys? What's been new?
Nothing much. Actually, I'm glad that finally got the three of us back together again. We're kind of doing a
Mhm.
two-man show, so good to we
We
missed
did a
you.
two-man show.
The amigos back.
It was like 2 weeks ago. It was like 2 weeks ago. It was me and you, and then last week it was just you and Chris, and now it's back to
Yep.
the three amigos.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So let's kick things off with what's the latest you've gotten? Any latest pickups for you guys?
I'll go first today. I got Dark Wolf.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been playing with him. I got to be honest, it was really John who kind of sold me on the Night Wolf. I was on the fence about him, and after seeing those shots, I was definitely intrigued. It is a really good figure. I do like the way it moves. I like the way it's articulated. I like the accessories that it came with. If I said anything, maybe some cons about it, let's say.
Yeah.
If you're planning on using it for Conan, like John had said a couple of episodes back, it is a little bit larger than him, but you can still make it work pretty well. The knee twist is a little odd. It's an odd choice, but
Yeah.
and then the last thing, and this is really super minor. I feel like the eyes are a little too far apart. Like I feel like I think about if this was a human skull on the other side and where those eyes would kind of sit. I'm like, I don't know. It feels
Okay.
Thurman, a little Uma Thurman, you know? It just needs like an eye wrangler, a little bit. But again, really minor. Besides that, I'd say 8 out of 10, maybe. Really good figure.
Nice.
And they call it a 112 scale, but in reality, it's more like 7-inch, right?
It's closer to, I would say, NECA.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maybe McFarlane.
Yeah.
Maybe McFarlane. Yeah, closer to like that.
Nice.
And it's all really in, like you said earlier, it's all in those legs, bro. They're so long.
They wanted to really emphasize on those thighs.
Yeah.
What else? I feel like you're the most what's the word? Self-controlled member of our group. That like you don't go crazy buying.
I know my lane, bro. I know my lane. What about you guys? What'd you guys pick up?
Well, I'll wait for Alex, man. He should have gotten something today.
Yeah, I'll go first. First to kick it off, I finally got my Doom. And I have to say, like, dude, like, all right, so like, I mean, obviously, I'm a comic book head, but like, I don't like Doom is not really was never really like, my favorite. Like, like I thought it was cool, but I never really like read, like study up on him hard or like, I wasn't necessarily a Doom fan or necessarily a Fantastic Four fan. So, I just wanted him just to be a comic book completionist. But I gotta say, like, for people, I think what were the cons that people were talking about? Like, I don't even remember like, what the cons are. That's how great. Like, I saw like pleasantly surprised by his figure. I think someone did mention that they didn't like that the end, like the bottom of the cape isn't wired, but it's like a minor issue. Overall, this thing is a beast. If you're a Doom fan, I highly recommend it. If someone like me can, what I'm saying, if someone like me who's not even a Doom fan, like fall in love with this figure, like if you're an actual Doom fan, this is an absolute necessity in your collection.
How's the articulation?
Yeah, can we see an arm bend?
Yeah, arm bends. So you have about 90 degree angle,
That's not bad.
not too like obviously he's not gonna be able to fucking pet his face or anything like that. He has bicep swivel, which helps. So like the iconic arms folded pose, it won't be as flush, but you could still make it work and get it done. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some finagling and some twisting of the joints, but you can get it pretty close. Obviously, I'm on screen, so I can't really get it too deep into it, but you can get it kind of in there. I'm just you gotta move some swivels around. But yeah, pretty much if you have Mezco Iron Man, it's the same body if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So it's as articulative as you would think a guy in a metal suit would be. You know what I mean? He's not gonna be doing like handstand splits or something like that. But in terms of like being just a boss and ruling things with the iron fist, literally, you can't do any better. The accessories are fucking phenomenal. I mean, you have a ton of hands. You have you have two head sculpts. You have the one that has a scar on it and one that's completely healed. Or I don't know if that's supposed to be pre. I don't know. I'm not getting. I'm not.
Like,
I'm not. I'm not.
like,
I'm not savvy with the Doom comics. So what I'm assuming is that some along the line in the comics, he heals his face, right? But you get the classic Doom face plates that are more clonky or more bulky, I guess you would say. And then
Mhm.
you have more of a modernized Doom face plate that's more sleek.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
it's
kind of
really
kind of
yeah,
reminds me of the movie version.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the accessories. So like the hands have like a whole indentation where it uses to hold up like blast. Here's like the example of like blast that you could shoot from his hands. He has the ones with the electricity connected to the hands,
Mhm.
as well as different like energy blast variations. He comes with his classic gun holster because if you know from the OG days, he wasn't. This is before he was a sorcerer or a magician, so he was heavy into being more down to earth or gritty, I guess.
He's strapped.
Yeah, I mean, he has. It's like Red Skull. Like he has his pistol, but does he really use it?
Yeah, yeah.
Not really. You know what I'm saying? What else did he come with? Oh yeah, and that siphon, that siphon harness that's supposed to suck up Galactus. I think that thing is beast. He has so he has in the back. I'll show you. He has these two cutouts that is just his die cast metal parts. And what these are magnets where you can use to stick his jetpack accessories on. Yeah. Jetpack accessories onto the back of it and make it look like he's about to take flight.
That's
Um
awesome.
yeah, man, it comes decked out. Like everything you'd want in a Doom figure is in this package. So I highly recommend.
The accessories, are they pretty like sturdy? Like the effects?
Uh, well, that's the well. So the positive is the opposite. They're not like stupid stiff where like one wrong step or whatever it's gonna break like the older power accessories. It's more a bit more flexible. So I'll show you.
That's
So it's a
nice.
little bit more like I mean, well, these ones are stiff, but like when it comes to like the finger blaster, that's flexible. The lightning hands, those are flexible because if they were stiff, then you would have a lot more breakage possibilities because they it comes attached to the hands. But yeah, man, he's just great. I definitely recommend. John, you definitely need him. Chris, I don't know how you if he fits into your collection. I don't know. You have like a weird guideline of what
I
fits into
do.
your collection.
I do.
Oh, so you have like categories, or you have certain requirements that need to go into the collection?
Well,
If he doesn't love it,
kinda.
he won't buy it. Pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't Marvel anymore. I used to Marvel Legends, so I had all these Marvels, and after I got out of Marvel Legends, I told myself I wouldn't dabble in Marvel anymore. But
Really.
that Doom looks amazing, and Doom is
Mhm.
one of my favorite figures, and
Mhm.
I don't know, I'm second guessing whether I do want to pick him up or not, because he just seems like, regardless of whether you like Marvel characters or not, he just seems like such an awesome figure.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Especially
Yeah,
for
he
all
looks
the
amazing.
Mezco Marvel figures we barely have any villains. We only have like Thanos
yep.
and
Really?
Magneto.
That's it?
Thanos, Magneto. I think that's it. Like I can't, right? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh man, you
I
guys
may
gonna
be.
give me
I
that.
may be missing. I may be not remembering one guy. But yeah, Marvel it's very scarce. DC we actually have more villains for them,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they're more Batman specific. I think the only universal DC villain we have is Deathstroke is kind of universal in a sense, but
Yeah.
he's more tailored to Batman, I guess. But you have Darkseid and yeah, it's mostly Batman villains that we have. We don't even have any Superman villains besides Darkseid.
Yeah.
Yes, we were just talking about in the group chat the other day. Me and Fonk, I was like, we need a lot more villains, not a lot more
Mhm.
comic villains.
Oh, Red Skull for Marvel.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Red
Very
Skull.
much
There we go.
Um,
That was. I mean, I was cool with just having the standard black trench coat version, but I know they came out with the actual OG
yes.
uh,
Where he
green
was in the green,
jumpsuit.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Agreed.
It's a con exclusive, and the price is about. I've seen it go for like 300 and up. And that's if you're like, I guess that's if you're a huge Captain America fan. Personally, I can't invest that much in a kind of Nazi. So like one version is okay, good enough for me. I don't know. I don't want to go that heavy into it.
That's fair.
And then I got just today. I got Spider Man, the infamous Mesco Spider Man.
Oh,
I haven't gotten the chance to open them up yet. I want to be able to do that on my own time and take my, be gentle and take my time with it. Because if I do in a rush, I know I'm gonna break some. And then I have a very, very honored gift from Emerald Knight,
Ooh,
the
anti-monitor.
anti-monster. John, thank you so much.
I don't care about
John was
that.
kind enough to, because I didn't give like significant, I wasn't very like, transparent, but like that whole Instagram drama, like that really like bummed me the F out. So
Yeah.
John was very kind enough to send that to me. You know what I mean?
Hashtag free night terrors.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we need to
I'm
start that. Get that going.
I'm really hoping, I'm praying to God, because I've read, I've had to like learn all about this stuff that I didn't even know was possible, like
Yeah.
from Reddit.
Yeah.
And so like I'm fingers crossed, I'm praying that after April, I forgot I put the date in my calendar, it's like April 23rd. Yeah, April 23rd is the 90-day mark. Actually, it's the day after, so it's the 91st day mark
Oh,
of, of since when I got the violation. So hopefully they free me out of jail in a sense. But it's so weird because like, dude, like my growth and engagement is still going. It's still like
that's
moving.
good.
Yeah.
So like it's like weird. It's like, am I in jail or am I not in jail? Like I don't understand it. I guess like my reels have gone viral enough to the point where like
Doesn't matter as much.
they can't
Right.
really handicap me like that, I guess. But I do notice with new content, new reels that I post are definitely stunted. So at this point, I'm just gonna ride the wave till I'm probably gonna hit 30K before
Yeah.
that I start to feel the actual restriction, like
Mhm.
into effect.
That's still good though, man. 30K. Wow.
Dude, Bill, I'm like, I've been like, kind of like, man, I should have just turned my personal page, which is at 5K, into my backup page. But
Yeah.
I'm like, no, when does it end? Alex needs his own life. I'm like, I can't make toys. I mean,
That's the
I have been making toys my entire life for the past fuck. I mean, to be nice. I mean, to say it safely, 3 years, if not 6 years. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I was like, I can't do it. I'm just gonna rebuild from scratch.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll take some time, but I can do it. I have confidence
Yeah.
That's the
because
second time you've done it, right? Like,
this would be the second time I'm rebuilding.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And if I could take my personal page at like, and this is like, you have to mind you, like I'm 33, like I don't have, like when I was young, obviously I had like mad friends, acquaintances,
Yeah.
where it would have been more easier and feasible to build a following. Now it's just straight like me, my close friends, and like just like like people I don't even know like follow me. And if I could build that up, and I started it in October, November.
Mhm.
If I can, and it's what, it's January.
Mhm.
If I can
Well,
build that
almost
up
February.
from basically 50 people to 5,000 today, like I know I can do it the same thing with my with
Yeah.
the backup toy page. So
For sure.
yeah, but let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping hoping I get out of jail and I can kind of just be like, all right, well, let me just have this in the background in case shit happens like this again. But,
Locked up in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, we got
What's
Oz in
new?
the house. Oh, he says John is awesome. Hey, appreciate that, Oz.
I like it.
But what's new with you, John?
Appreciate that.
What you picked up?
Oh man, well I posted them yesterday on IG. I picked up the Super 7. Well, they came in the Super 7 uh Cobra Troopers. So
I'm surprised you haven't chased after the Haya Toys GI Joe line.
one thing at a time, man. One thing at a time. I got the Mescos, and originally the Super 7s were always going to go in on, and then kind
Yeah.
of just waited, and then eventually I started getting into classifieds, and then that was a slippery slope, and then so I'm doing both now. I'm doing classifieds and Super 7 Ultimates, and now Mesco maybe.
You're gonna pick your
With the
battles, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like how what I do, I
That's a
get
Joe
like
fan.
DC villains. I
yeah.
rely on McFarlane toys mostly because Mezco's not busting them out. But when it comes to like the main big, the main superheroes, I get it from Mezco and I just mix and match.
No, yeah, I get that. For
I
me,
feel
I
like
mean,
with Joe's, they offer different things though. Like Mezco is
Yeah.
offering something very different from Classified,
Mhm.
which is offering something very different from Super 7. So I could
Yeah.
see why you feel
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, I 100% agree. And again, with the Ultimates, they just have that aesthetic of, that's straight out of a cartoon.
Yeah.
So I grew up, watching them, because if I want something a little bit more gritty, a little bit more, real, and real, I would do Classified, um, or even Mesco at this point. But
Yeah.
um,
You're
I've
definitely
noticed too, these really do pop though in my photos. I really, I took a couple of actual like actual shots, like storytelling shots, and I was like, man, they really stand out. And
let me see the
um
articulation though. That
Just in my opinion, a lot of your photos, the ones that I really enjoy are kind of those brighter, colorful ones. And so I feel like particularly those Super 7s work well for what you kind of naturally do best. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I see why you like them. But to your point, KT, I'd never seen these Haya GI Joe figures. I guess they're 1/18 scale, and they are really
Yeah.
nice. They're really cool.
I'm looking forward to what do I have from Haya? I pre-ordered their 112 Captain Kirk from the reboot movies, the one that's played by Chris Pine. I was like, I
Yeah,
need that. I was
yeah.
like, yes. And then they're gonna make a
The
Spock
Chris
too.
Pine version, really?
Yeah. I love, bro. I like, you
They were
understand,
good.
like the way I
Yeah,
got
they
into
were.
Star Trek was like, all right, so like I grew up with like the Next Generation, like kind of like like in the background. I didn't really watch it like that. I just always noticed it, and I had like a toy of Picard without knowing like what the show was.
Yeah.
And then in high school, one of my close friends was a Star Trek head, and like even then, I was just like, it wasn't clicking. And then those movies came out, and then like I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And that's when I started going backwards. I started at TOS, and I went up to TNG, and then I skipped the others because I'm like, I don't have that. There's too much. There's too many shows
Oh yeah,
that I have like days of my life. So I skipped those, and I went to the more modern shows they got going on now, like Discovery and Strange New
yeah.
Worlds.
Yeah, I was trying to get into Discovery, I just couldn't, and then I tried to get into Picard because I was into TNG for the most
Mhm.
part, and then I kind of fell out of it. And I was
TNG
always
I'm gonna say TNG, like from all right, so for me, like it's hard, it's a hard watch for me
yeah,
because
it can
like
be.
the TOS was like Captain Kirk kicking ass,
Yeah,
even Spock was kicking ass, and like
Mhm.
you go to like TNG, it's just non-stop philosophical debates for like episodes on end. It's like someone, oh my god, it's just like dog punch someone, like oh,
yeah,
like that's why
it
like
can be a slog. Yeah, trying to get
That's
through
why,
some of
like,
those episodes.
I grew to I love Worf so much is because like whenever there was an episode about Worf, that's how you knew it was gonna be like interesting and fun and like with some action in it. It was just gonna be like Picard going on lectures on like days on end.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of my favorite aspects of you, KT, is what a Trekkie you are. Because I would have never expected it,
I,
but to hear you like go off about it, I'm like, man, he really does love that shit. It's so funny.
that's why I was so shocked when he said that he was more. I mean, I love Star Trek, man. I was like, really? It's like,
I don't know.
hey, but
And I can't put my finger on it too because like like by personality wise, from me being more of like an action and kind of guy, you would think. And I said this in the group chat like a couple of times. You would think that I would be a Star Wars fan and like I would not like Trek, but like it's the opposite. I love Star Trek, but like Star Wars, like it bores me to death for some reason. I think it's because I always try starting from the beginning, and I can never get past the pre what they call it, the prequel trilogies. There's like
Well, yeah,
I watched them as a kid, so like it's like I should love these movies, but even back then I was like, what the hell is this? And then even now I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, George Lucas is not good with dialogue.
no, he's not.
And I mean, you know what it was, bro? I couldn't get past the first scene where the Trade Federation aliens, they were like, they had Asian accents. I'm like, this is kind of
Mhm.
racist. I'm like,
A little weird.
oh, so they
Yeah,
put the Jedi over here.
That's a
I'm like,
weird,
really, George? You're going
weird
there?
choice. Weird choice.
yep.
And then you
Um,
had Jamaican
the
Jar Jar
Gungans.
Binks,
Yeah.
and
Gungans, yeah.
then you had like I don't know, like Jewish, Italian, what was his name, Gangu or whatever his name with the big schnauzer.
Yeah. Oh man, Watto,
He's like, I
Watto,
don't need,
Oh,
I don't.
Watu. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
very
he was
Middle Eastern.
so racist. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
this is such a caricature of like of a group. I'm like, I can't.
That is true.
You pay me
Yeah.
money now. It was like, oh my god.
We got to clip that right there.
Oh.
Pay the money now.
But I was going to show you an additional
Scott.
pickup. I got the cloth goods from Max Bird from my Blue Mandarin spawn. So I put
Oh,
it
nice.
together.
Major
Background's got
upgrade.
nice, like greatly tailored with the insignia. You have this cool like sleeve that like droops over his shoulder pad, and then you have this like Chinese ribbons. The white and blue one. The blue one has like Chinese characters calligraphy on it, and it just upgrades this figure like 20 times more.
It's amazing.
I actually I shot and I've been like it's so good that like I haven't like I've been having a difficult time settling on a shot to premiere it on my page.
Mhm.
Because like it's just such a big, it has a lot going on, so it's hard to take a dynamic like Dutch
Mhm.
angle shot of it without losing some of the details that you want to show off. So I just went with a straight I'll say
Just a
vanilla.
profile shot. Yeah, just
Yeah,
straight shot.
like a portrait vanilla shot, and I was like, I just ended up going in and like decking it out with effects and everything to like kind of make up for the lesser action,
Yeah.
vibe coming off of it. And I think it did a decent job. Yeah, so that's gonna come out soon.
Nice,
Real
nice.
quick, Collecting Brothers saying he's also excited for the Chris Pine Trek figure.
Nice.
Let's see, is this the one here? Let me
Dude,
see.
they've been like Star Trek 4 has been in like production oblivion for like so long. Like we should have had a Star Trek 4 and 5 out, but Paramount is just being so frugal, I guess.
Well, and I guess it's tough too because of the guy who played Chekhov, him passing away.
Yeah, he
And
passed away. Zoe
yeah,
Saldana got busy with like obviously with all her
Guardians, yeah.
Avatar and Guardians. Chris Pine became another hot sensation.
He's gotten old looking though, man. I mean, for real. I mean, he's kind of. I
Mhm.
forgot what movie I saw him in recently, but he was like, I think he was with.
Dungeons and Dragons or something.
Well,
No?
that too. That was one, yeah. But he just looks like he's kind of aging out a little bit. But I mean,
You think so? Is he? How old is he? He's got to be like only like 40 though. He's not that old. I think he.
I mean,
Some people
that's
just let the gray hair come out at an early age.
that's
So.
true. That's true. Yeah. 'Cause
Bro,
I think
I
that's
have
I
gray
think, I
hair.
think that's what's throwing me out.
If I didn't shave, if I wasn't a shaved head person, you would see my gray hairs. It's crazy. I'm only like early
I know.
30s. You know what
I
I mean?
know my beard is like it's mostly gray, so I kind of just don't let it grow out now. And I'm getting gray like on the sides here, so
Dude, I would
it
dye my
is.
hair. I don't give a shit. I would dye my beard and everything.
No, I can't do that. It'd be too noticeable because I mean, yeah, it'd be just jarring
Get
for people that
highlights.
know
Get
me.
blonde highlights.
I'm looking forward to gray hairs. I feel like I have a young face, and the gray hairs will balance me out. People are like,
Why?
okay,
No, don't ever say
he
that.
looks
No,
like an
the one is
adult.
the song is young forever, not old. Not old forever.
This is cool. I didn't know it was soft goods. It's also interesting that it's 112 because I believe the Dread will come out before this, but this might be only their second or third 112. I could be mistaken, chat or anybody here, correct me if I'm wrong, but
They're I think I don't know. For me, the only like cloth 112 that I noticed from them, which I pre-ordered, was the first pre-order I got was Leatherface, the Netflix version, movie version.
oh, and that was 112.
Yeah, I ordered that just because I'm a huge
Yeah,
I'm a huge TCM fan,
yeah.
and like, I'm in the minority, but like I actually enjoy that movie. Like it's not like I'm stupid. Like I acknowledge what people had problems with, but at the same time, like I had fun with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure it's like how Halloween and what am I thinking? Halloween and Nightmare Before Elm Street and Friday movies. Like I'm sure once you got up to the later ones that are bad, you have people saying they love it, they think it's fun. So that's how I feel about the latest Leatherface movie.
yeah, I mean that one was pretty. It did what it needed to do,
Jason
without kind
Goes to
of.
Hell is an example of one of the worst like movies where I'm like, dude, is there anyone who enjoys this movie? Because like, I hate it.
Yeah,
Jason
yeah,
X.
no.
What's up?
Jason
Jason X
X.
Jason
was pretty
X.
enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah.
That one was enjoyable. Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell. That was like, yeah, he's hardly in it. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean that's the simple fact that he's hardly in it, and they're having this body swapping deal in the film, and it's just, yeah, it's surprising. Jason takes Manhattan though is probably one of the most hated, but I that's one of my favorites though. That's the funny thing. I think just
Mhm.
the cheese factor and just the whole kind of, um what's the word? Just the it's just so outlandish at that point,
Mhm.
making
Yeah.
the eighth movie in this franchise that just, that started like in the early 80s, and he's on a boat, you know, killing people before he gets to New York, which is actually Canada. If you actually if you actually can, uh
They filmed
if
it in
you
Canada.
yeah, for the
That's
majority of it, yeah. All the scenes in the majority of all the scenes that take place in New York was in Canada. Only like the money shots of the of Times Square and
Mhm.
stuff like that was in New York because they only had like a day in New York. So
That movie sucked. Yeah, I tried watching that. It was pretty bad.
I mean, it's an enjoyable romp, is the way I put it. It's
Well,
very
I guess
very
it's because actually, you know what? The significance behind it is that was the first outing as Jason being undead, right? A zombie, if I'm not mistaken.
no, it was part six. Part six was when he Jason Lives was the the
Oh
first
yeah, okay.
iteration of him because he gets, well, he's resurrected and yeah, comes back as a
Oh
zombie.
yeah, this is after Corey Feldman had his like run, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I want to ask because I keep seeing reels of Corey Feldman. Like, what is up with that guy? He's every time I see a reel, he's doing some like Michael Jackson ripoff like pop performance. I'm like, is that like
He's
what
he's
happened?
always
Like,
been like that. He's been like that, man. He was again, I don't want to speculate or, just ruin any window. Is just like, yeah, he was always buddies with MJ back in the day.
Mhm.
And yeah, he just, yeah, like even way back in the 90s, man, he was dressing Michael. I
so
mean,
what,
in a couple of his,
MJ, like him and MJ like linked up and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were friends, kind of
They
like
were,
him.
yes,
Yeah,
publicly friends.
dude,
public
Like
I
friends.
like
Yeah,
him and Macaulay Culkin kind of thing.
yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. So like I mean like I watched the documentary and I know like apparently it's been proven false, but like it still doesn't change the fact that he was like legit like trying to be friends with kids. Like it may not have been sexual, but it's still very very awkward and weird.
Weird look.
yeah. I
Weird look.
mean, yeah. As the theme song from, yeah, I mean, Jason Takes My Hand is a great song at the beginning. Because the
Mm.
thing is, what I do, and some of the people in the chat, I tell them, so every Friday 13th, I start early in the morning. I start from part one and make my way to part eight. So I usually get, I have it all system, a whole system down. I
Wow.
wake up at 5 o'clock, and then by 6, 7 p.m., I'm done with part eight.
That's a
So
Wow.
dedication.
yeah, I don't even know how I started. I think when I started having
And
Fridays
you watching
off
that
from work.
sober too? Like no drink or anything? Like
Yeah,
Straight.
just taking
and just
life at
like
the
just
face. Like,
I mean, the early ones are kind of hard to get through just because they're well, I think they're better made films, but they're in that
yeah.
time period, like in the early '80s, and then they start getting more outlandish as the series progresses. So
I like the
uh,
I thought the reboot was actually pretty good, to be honest.
it had potential. It definitely had potential, and I like the Jared Padalecki as the hero. He's always been a favorite of mine, so seeing him in that,
Hmm.
um, Here's Pain. But do you see Jason X? No, I can't. I saw it
I
once.
saw it. Yeah, I saw it. It
I
was
saw. I've only seen it once, and then I just couldn't. Freddy versus Jason. Now that was a. That was. I remember I
Jason
went with.
was fun. That was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, I went with a bunch of buddies, and I think it was in my early 20s. So we were just like and we were just like, yeah, just
Yeah, yeah.
having a good time with it.
I feel
I
like
mean,
that started the versus thing too. Like I feel like after
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason is when they would start taking these two franchises and like, all right, this guy versus this Godzilla versus King Kong, and all that kind of stuff. Superman versus Batman. Blah, blah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, AVP. I think
AVP. Yep.
came after that. I think the year
Yep.
after they had Alien versus Predator,
Yeah.
and that was another one where me and my buddies were so excited. We went out there, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was all right, but it has potential to do so much more. But
For
I
sure,
mean,
for sure. Especially if
yeah,
you read the AVP comics or
yeah,
any of the Dark Horse older stuff, like there's so
Yeah.
much good material there that they could make something really cool with.
yeah.
I didn't like. I didn't mind the first one. I thought it was okay. Like it had like I liked it for the cool like actual like Yajuta scenes where they're killing the aliens
Yeah.
and stuff. But all the human stuff was like trash. And then the second one, I just hated. Like I hated everything about it. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the design of the Pred alien.
Red Alien.
It
Yeah,
looked so dumb. It was like it was an alien with dreadlocks. I'm like, all right, really? There wasn't much effort into the redesign here.
the
It's like
I do like the concept of aliens coming to Earth and kind of invading a just a basic small town, but yeah, it could have been a lot better. And the fact that it was like so dark. I mean, again, I've seen it just a handful, maybe once or twice, but yeah, just it was really dark. I mean, at least when I saw it back, way back when, I don't know if it was my TV or something, but it was just like super
You know
dark and
why? Because
grainy.
it mostly took place because the Pred alien was hiding in the sewage system. I remember
Yeah.
that specifically, and I was like, all right, is he gonna come out? I was like, why is he always in the sewage? But now what? So like I mean, like it's debatable with the alien lore. Like I personally liked Ridley Scott's prequel slash kind of reboot, Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I liked the idea of it. I thought it was cool, but what I see that's coming out soon is
Romulus.
Romulus is coming out, and there's going to be an alien show, and the alien show is going to basically just re-retcon. It's going to override whatever Ridley Scott did in his recent reboot movies. I guess because people didn't like the idea of aliens. I don't know. It's confusing because people were saying, "Oh, I don't like that the aliens are bioweapons," but it's like if you watch the original films, they kind of were like humans wanted to utilize them as bioweapons. So
Yeah.
like I didn't understand the complaint. Like that was
So-
like the complaint.
Here's the thing about I think Prometheus, both of them, and really Scott said this. It was one of those things where he wrote this film, right? He's like the guy who did Aliens, and then Fox comes in and they're like, "All right, but where's the xenomorphs?" And they're like, "All right, you got to figure out a way to get the xenomorphs in there, And then so he had that ending sequence where he kind of like, okay, here's a transition from this film into Aliens, and it's almost like I think I would have liked Prometheus more if it didn't really have to do with those aliens. Like it could have been like,
Right.
I love the engineers. They look really cool. I love all the other stuff, but like if it was like if they didn't have xenomorphs in it, I think it'd stand alone a little bit better.
The engineers look like handsome Squidward, if we're being honest. They really did. No, but what I liked about the prequels he did was he did the different stages of Alien, which it was like he should have just focused on those aliens, like I don't know the starfish one. You
Yeah.
have my favorite is the neomorph, the white one.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
has like a pointy back of the head. That one looked dope as hell. I like that.
Was that the one you called? I think they called it the Bishop or something. There was a nickname. I forgot.
Deacon.
Yeah.
They called it that.
It was something. Yeah. But I mean, for me, just because I grew up with the original ones, and I'm kind of in that same camp as far as the engineers, like it didn't really need to tell that their origin story, because I like the idea of it just being a mystery when the crew comes across the the cockpit, or that part of the first Alien, and you're just like, what is that? Like, what you didn't have to tell that particular origin story, but I mean ultimately, Chris, like you're saying, I would have just been fine if they just focused on them, and then have them, not even have to like incorporate what came,
Yeah.
before with the original aliens.
Right.
It did.
But
Chris makes a good point because I rewatched Covenant recently, and like I like at one point you could swear the movie was gonna end, but then they added another
yeah,
kind of like nod to the original film of like the
Yeah,
aliens
yeah,
being
yeah.
on
That
board.
next
I was
yeah,
like, this wasn't needed at all. Like you could have. I was like, so the studios must have came in and was like, no, no, we need
yeah.
we need to look more like the original film.
Another thing I'd like to see too is like if you think about Alien, don't I love Aliens. Aliens is probably my favorite, but if you think about Alien, it was a little bit more of like a horror movie. Like
mhm,
it was framed a little bit more like a horror. And so it'd be cool to at least see, maybe like in the TV show or maybe in the new movie, kind of like a return to that, like
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I think that'd be kind of interesting. Same thing I
Yeah.
think a lot about too with Terminator. I feel like Terminator is another one of those where it was like if you think about the first
yes,
one, second one, it was action-y, but it was kind of scary, like you think about the T-1000 with the finger and the mom's head and all that
Mhm.
shit. Like that was kind of scary as a kid. And so
Mhm.
I'm like, I wish
it
they would
come.
go back to that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely comes off as a horror movie
Mhm.
vibe. And it's funny you mentioned with Alien because that was exactly really Scott's idea. He loved Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he said, "Well, I want to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre in space, basically."
Mhm.
So that was like the whole inspiration. Like he's just like he wanted to make something as terrifying or kind of
He
on
really
that
said
same
Texas
same
Chainsaw
level.
Massacre?
Yeah, yep, yeah.
Because I would have compared it with Jaws. Like I thought it was like Jaws in space, where
Yeah.
like it was like a monster that
mm,
like they build the suspense up and it attacks.
I
and
wonder
I'm
what
sure I'm sure they took a lot of liberties with that. And I know with the showing of the alien, because if you see a lot of the behind the scenes
Hmm.
or some of the deleted scenes, it's like, yeah, you really can't. Ultimately, it's a guy in a suit. When you get down to it, so the way they were able to kind of shoot around that and kind of get those different angles to kind of hide the fact that it's just a big guy in a suit. I think
Yeah,
really, kind of like with Jaws. Okay, the shark's not working. It's okay, no problem. We'll just use barrels. We'll use the fin. We'll use the music. We'll do all these kind of things to kind of work around that, so that you know, in lieu of the shark not working or technology not there yet to make
yeah,
Mhm.
a real working shark. But I think it was Joe Blow movie. I think it was on YouTube. I saw that of where they talk about the Terminator. Is it a horror movie? Kind of like Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie? type of deal. Because
Yeah.
I really always felt that because Terminator is essentially Michael Myers and Jason. Just this,
Yeah, dude. That's so
just this.
true.
Yeah, I mean, just hunting down Sarah Connor. So
hmm
and and kill. I mean, just the scene where he beats up her best friend and her boyfriend, and everything. I mean, that's like
Yeah,
I remember seeing that as a kid going, "Oh my gosh," I was like freaked out because
brutal.
he just pummeled that guy and then just shot her just like that.
yeah. I like the Terminator. Like I like all of them pretty much. I mean, I know for some reason, and I don't know why. This is another example. Dark Fate, the latest one that came out, where they brought back Sarah Connor and they even brought back Arnold. And
Hmm.
I thought the story was good. I liked it. I thought it was cool how they also did that same thing. They nodded the original, but instead of having a male Terminator, you had not the original, the uh Terminator 2. The T1 was a girl this time.
Yeah.
I guess she was more emotional, like I
Mhm.
guess in a sense, or like yeah, whatever. So I thought it was cool, but apparently it didn't do as well on box office wise, and the Die Hard fans had issues with it. So I think it's just hard to please people, fans of franchises that are like, that old. It's just
Yeah.
someone's
Yeah.
always gonna be salty. I don't know why. I don't know what people really expect at this
Well,
point.
it's just hard because especially with really they've I mean, this is just my opinion, but really just the first one and second one are probably the best. Similar to like Aliens for me, Alien and Aliens are probably like the best, and then they kind of just do kind of a slow downturn after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're still enjoyable. I actually enjoyed um Terminator the fourth one with
Genesis.
yeah no, with Christian Bale.
Oh, I didn't
Oh my
watch
god.
that one that you're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah. That one
Yeah,
was pretty good.
I mean, I like the fact that they're actually in the future, and even though it didn't really have that aesthetic of the Cameron movies, with the
Mhm.
the the blue, the laser, the pulsing rifles, and kind of like kind of like a burnt out type of future where there's like no sun, the sun doesn't like come out at all because
Mhm.
it's always at night.
Yeah.
This was more of like a Mad Max type of post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic future, but I like the fact that okay, we're gonna be in that in that universe. We're not doing this whole time travel thing, for
Yeah.
like a 4 time. No, we're just gonna just be in there. We're gonna stay in there, and there was some cute, nice little twists, in there as well. So everything, and then after that, it's just like Genesis was like, it's just like I was, and then Dark Fate, I was like, I don't think this can get any better. And the show I like, the Sarah Connor
There was
Chronicles,
a
I
show.
enjoy. Yeah, there was a show, and I think it only lasted 2 seasons, but it had that's the funny thing because it was so you had Game of Thrones Cersei, Lena Headey playing Sarah Connor in the TV show, and then you had Khaleesi playing Sarah Connor in Genesis. So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
The original, I mean, the original Sarah Connor actress. I'm sorry, but like even like in her premiere, at her at her prime, she looked like she like did meth and smoked cigarettes. Like
But that's why it worked, though. That's why it
Oh yeah, yeah,
worked. It was so
so
perfect,
realistic.
yeah. Linda
Like
Hamilton, yeah.
she had that look of like yes, like this rugged sort of like New Mexico type of woman, and so I felt like she was so perfect for
No,
that
Chris.
role.
Let's be real. A Floridian. It was a Florida.
All right, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
The Florida
Yeah,
woman, man.
Florida woman.
But to make sure we're making up time. Let's move on to the next segment. I think we should do the coverage of the featured guests as well as the people who've posted in the Discord chat. But it's up to you guys.
Okay. Let me pull them up. So our weekly guest or our weekly showcase is Doc Fig Manchu, Ross Parslers. Let me pull up his page.
Real quick, I
Awesome.
just want if Doc is here tonight or if he watches this, leave a comment.
Yep.
I was curious once when I was making the promo banner for him, I was like, Doc Fig Manchu. And so I was like, oh, is it? And then I looked at his logo with the skull and the mustache.
Yeah.
So I was like, is this supposed to be like Doc Nocturnal with a Fig Manchu? So inquiring minds want to know if you're watching. Let us know.
I think I asked him one time, and no, actually, no, that's not him. It was Doctor Space Cape, that guy.
Okay.
Never mind.
That's a good shot right there. It was also nominated for the TCP.
He started off solid, and he's gotten just better. Like, and
Yeah.
he's improved in such a short amount of time. He's done a great job.
Yeah, I think this one was actually featured by the Horsemen when they were doing their just basically just showing a lot of people's works after they got the Marley.
Mhm.
He's really good
Awesome.
at the technical, editing, I would say.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like I would even know how you would even like attempt at making that figure look like, whatever is what they say, specter, or like, looking like a ghost,
Mhm.
like
Like
gases
gas.
form.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is I wonder if he's using legit smoke or fog, or if it's in digital. But otherwise, I mean, it's seamless though. It really works.
From what I remember of our interactions, he was a more of a digital app guy, but I mean he may have switched it up since I've talked to him.
I mean, it looks good. I mean, it really, really pops. And this is the one that we're actually going to feature this week because this is
Nice.
one of his. Yeah, so I think that was a good one to pick. I love this angle here. I even told him when we were chatting, like, this is a really good angle. I mean,
Oh yeah, that is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really close. I mean, that's in focus all the way up. I mean, it's just really, really pops.
It makes me wonder, like, where was his camera position? Like, he must have put this guy on the edge of the dio, just so he could get sort of like that upward angle.
Yeah.
Imagine like, or maybe high up, and then he's got he's kind of trying to be low, but
I actually thought he may have used like a Photoshop backdrop to like to not worry about it, but maybe he did use a diorama.
It looks like it, yeah, on that one, yeah. It definitely looks like that's a real, like that's.
I can't tell these days. Everyone's so good.
That's true, yeah.
I can barely tell what's what's natural shot and what's like photo edited.
The only thing that makes me think that the dio is the perspective, because the perspective on the wall on the left is in perspective, and so if that was a photo, that'd be a specific photo,
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then this little piece here, I mean, that's kind of like tells me that maybe that's like a parts that just cut off on the dial, maybe.
Mm.
Oh,
Monkey
Monkey
King.
King.
I got him. I got him right here. Actually,
That's what I was thinking about when you were showing off the Mandarin spawn. I was like, they're gonna look good together.
It would be a hard shot, dog, because like Mandarin Spawn is so busy, and then also Monkey King is so busy. Like to get them all both in one shot, like I don't.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, I'm sure it's doable. I just know it would be like that would take up the entire like photo shoot session. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I would
I
spend
actually
like 2
saw
hours to do that. I think.
I actually saw him a couple days ago, and I didn't even notice. I noticed during the last photo shoot, like he's got like a little hole on the where his tailbone is. So I was like, oh, I didn't see that before. So I kind of just like used one of my flight stands to kind of use that to kind of just prop him up and kind of get him like in a pose. So I thought that was kind of cool. I wonder if that was actually something that Horseman did on purpose, or
Not the tail hole, right?
oh, you know what? That's maybe that's
That's
what
what I was
that.
thinking too.
Oh,
I was
okay,
like,
okay.
Okay. Maybe that's what that. Yeah, maybe that's what. I
yeah.
think
So
what the
stick
accessory.
that tail in there.
Yeah. Hey, but hey, it worked though. I used it for a to put him like in a pose. So
Nice. Improvise, overadapt. What is it? Improvise, adapt, overcome.
That's
oh,
nice.
you're just talking about the man himself, man. Leatherface.
Leatherface.
Yeah, I think this is his dial because I think it's the same dial he had in the other photo.
I gotta shoot that guy more. Like I just like.
And
There's
this is
so many
okay.
possibilities.
This is the Neko one, right?
No,
Or the Mezco.
No, that's the Mezco.
Yeah,
Mezco.
Dude, Mezco Leatherface is. Don't even bring up NECA Leatherface. I've owned
Hey,
two of them.
that's why I got NECA. I mean, he's up there.
I own two neck. Like I bought one Leatherface, NECA Leatherface, and then the chainsaw handle broke off easily. So I'm like, and NECA doesn't really like customer service is not really there. So
Yeah.
I bought another one, and then it lasted me a good amount of time. But then like one of the legs wasn't bending as far back as the other one. So simple logic. I'm like, well, it has to bend as far as that one because they're equal. But nah, I tried to press it and it broke off. And I said, I am done with NECA.
Oh man, hate to see it happen.
Yeah. So wait, what's happening? I can't see it. Go back. I can't see the bottom. He's cutting into what looks like maybe vapor. Okay.
Vapor.
Okay.
Is that what that? Yeah.
Because I see the hat. Yeah.
And then there's a
little
Mez's, yeah.
Little Mezco Monday action.
Nice. Oh, that's a good one here.
You do Transformer, don't you, John? You don't, KT, right?
No, I don't either. I have the 2 Super 7s, Optimus and Megatron. So
but
yeah, I never. Yeah, besides that, no. And I never really was into Transformers as a kid. I was again more of a G.I. Joe guy. And 'cause I could never do the transforming effect. I would always get upset because I couldn't do it. I would just like throw it across the room and just like get frustrated. So I never really clicked with Transformers.
I was more of a Beast Wars fan because I'm not a grease monkey. I'm not a car guy. Like the nicest car or like the most coolest race car could pass me by, and like I wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's the blah blah. But you know what I mean? Like I'm like they all look alike, whatever.
But because I'm in your same age range, I'm 35, and so I feel like Beast Wars had come out right around that time in the 90s, and it was like I didn't even know what Transformers was, and I found out that they were related, and I was like, oh,
I did own the toy, like I did own like the old school Transformers toy. But like John, I was just like stupid when it came to like actually transforming them. I used to ask my big sister, I feel like, can you turn him back into a robot? Can you turn him back into a car?
And that's what I would do with my older brother. He's the one that had Transformers because I guess that was, even though he's 9 years older than me, I mean, those were kind of like considered still kind of cool to have, you know. I mean, he gave me all his He-Mans and Star Wars and everything. So Transformers was more of his. And of course, Megatron, turned into a gun. So that's really cool. I mean, you could just have it like a realistic looking gun too back in the day. So I would try to play with them and then I couldn't do it. So I was like, hey, can you turn him back into Megatron? He's just like, oh, it's like, leave me alone. But yeah, I wonder which version. I mean, there's so many. There's so many.
Nah, go ahead, John.
No. I was gonna just say I was gonna try and figure out. I know this is Megatron, but there's
That's
so
Megatron,
many. Yeah, there's
right?
so many versions. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have no. I mean, no clue who made if this is
I didn't
Hasbro or this
I
is.
didn't learn how to transform an actual transformer till I was like 25, 26. like
Wow.
Wow.
like when because I bought like I remember I was on this is when I started like I think this is when I started getting into toys like when I was in designer art toys but this is when I was starting to explore nostalgia toys. So I went on eBay, I bought a bunch of
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars Transformers from like our day, Chris.
Mhm.
And then I read the instructions and I'm doing it. I'm like, wow, I was a stupid kid. This is not as hard as I remember it being.
I was a child prodigy, bro. I was all about the Transformers. No, I wasn't that smart, but I did. I just loved the Transformers, and I was pretty good at changing them. I didn't know that. I didn't even know. I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
That's dope. Yeah.
Man, this is nice. This is like a freaking. Yeah, this is like a work of art right here.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's a good head swag. I think that's a McFarlane, and then he like put the Gomez head on there.
What is
The
that?
body
Iron
is.
Maiden? Is that Iron Maiden Eddie or something
I
like that?
think so. I think that's
Right? It
one of
looks
the
like it.
Eddie from
Yeah.
McFarlane's.
Oh, says so. He says, "Old banger for Mesco Toys
Oh,
and my
neck.
love for Iron Maiden. Bit of NECA in the mix. Well, a bit of NECA in the mix too. So, huh?
Oh yeah, NECA does make Eddies. I forgot. Yeah. That makes sense.
Man, it's crazy. It's. I mean, I wonder what he used to make the padded room because it just like it looks so realistic. And then with these chains,
Natural.
did it come with a what?
I said it looks natural. It looks very like
Natural. Yeah. Yep.
mm,
And do these chains come with the figure? I guess or
I don't know.
I'm looking it up now because I
They made a
don't.
lot. They made quite a
Yeah,
few. I know they had the mummy one and they had the infamous, British. I don't know. I wasn't an Iron Maiden fan because like it's weird that it's classified as heavy metal, but when I played it, it was like ah, I was like I
yeah,
was used to yeah, I was I mean I'm a '90s kid, so I grew up on like Slipknot, like you know what I mean,
yeah.
like that's
This
dope.
is this is
That's
funny.
like
That's a lot of these things. I wonder how many he actually has in here.
dude, they I have a shitload. Like it just happens over time.
I have a lot,
Is
but
it-
I don't have that many of one color. Like that's pretty impressive that they're
That's
all
the
the exact.
standard. That's the normal one. They kept shooting those ones out. It's the special ones that are more like the Halloween ones,
Oh,
the
really?
newer ones. The original Mezza Grub, they sent those out like almost every Mezco. So like it's easy to. I have like at least like
Gotcha,
100
gotcha.
of those
It's
things.
So
easy
do
to
they
spot.
just do they come with the figures or do they just? I
Yeah,
mean, do they?
yeah. Mezco used to throw it in. It's in a nice little envelope. They used to throw in like some stickers, and they
It
do it
looks
in
like it's in
Mezza
a condom
everywhere.
wrapper.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
yeah,
it's. It looks
it
like that.
does. It really does. But lately, I don't know. I guess I think maybe they've been kind of backlogged, factory wise, that they haven't been including them in the later in like recent
Yeah.
pre-orders. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm sure it's not on purpose. I just think maybe they're trying to just get these orders out and
Yeah.
there.
Also, I found that sometimes, like, I feel like more often if it comes from New York, I get one than if it comes from what is the other location, Washington or something like that.
Washington, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Washington. hmm
So,
Yeah, Megatron.
Megatron again. I like the effect. You always gotta have glowing eyes with Transformers, though. That's a good close up shot. Is this V for
That's that
Vendetta?
new third party V for Vendetta.
I'm
Is
tempted.
What was it?
I'm just kidding.
I'm
DS
tempted.
toys or something like that.
It's on 5K, but I don't know who the company is that's doing it. But I am very tempted.
People know.
Yeah,
No. Watch the reviews, and then also Doc Fig Manchu also he made a brief comment, but there was another guy who actually went to a more in depth review.
Yeah,
And I mean, unless you're a diehard Vendetta fan, um, from what I heard, and again, this is from what I heard, the articulation is very limited. So do with
that's a
that
bummer.
what you will.
That's a bummer.
Um,
mhm.
but I don't know if it's subjective. If you're a diehard Vendetta fan, I'm sure you want to get it because I don't see any other company really
Uh,
unless it's another third party. But I don't see any mainstream brand making it. To be
Comment.
honest.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Mhm.
what I like about it too is that like usually with movie figures, you got the face, right? And then you're like, okay, that's Joaquin Phoenix or whoever the actor is, right? But with that one, since it has the mask, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you see a Tony
Vendetta
Stark
wasn't
action
played by
figure,
Joaquin Phoenix though.
I'm just it was just an
Oh, okay.
example. If you see
I
a
was
Tony
like,
Stark action figure, you're like, okay, that's Robert Downey Jr. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
But with this guy, since he has the mask, it can pass as like the comic version or like another version besides from the movie.
The guy who played whatever Eldron, I forgot the Lord of the Rings name.
Yeah.
The elf and
Yeah,
Mr. Well, not Mr. The Agent Smith. Agent
Agent
Smith.
Smith. Yeah, Agent Smith.
Yeah. Mhm.
Who actually voiced Megatron as well in the Transformers movies.
And he played Red Skull in Captain America the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
Hugo Weaving. God, I was like, I know his name. What is it?
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean the movie was great. I never read the comic, but I'm sure the comic's even better.
Yeah, great shot though. I love the rose and the lighting. Very cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's Doc Fig Manchu, man. If you're not following him, I'm gonna put his
Yeah, definitely.
put it in the chat. Oh,
Now, let me see. What's his following at?
he's only 1,000. I mean, we need to get that up, man.
No, but he's like he came from like only 200 followers to like that's what I'm saying. He blew up pretty fast and he improved
Oh, he did?
pretty fast. So I'm sure, and by the end of this year he'll be up there, with most of the big names. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's definitely has
Yeah.
the skills, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to pop open the Discord chat?
Yep. Let me bring it up here.
So Chris,
So
what
we
do you
go
do? Chris, what do you do when you're not buying? Like if you're not buying toys, what do you spend your money on? Just
Yes. I recently gotten into Warhammer a lot. You guys Warhammer, you guys ever play the game or
I mean,
Okay.
I know of it, but
So besides that, I do D&D on Mondays. So I'm into D&D. I run a game on Mondays at the local gaming store, and so I had like $600 in store credit because they give you store credit for DMing, right? And so I see all these guys playing Warhammer, and I'm like, that looks fun. And so I started getting into it, and so I do that. I spend a lot of money on that, and I do a lot of painting. I'm in my personal life, like I've got like an art career, and so I do spend a lot of time like painting and stuff like that. So art supplies, that probably takes up most of it. Warhammer, action figures, and art.
Warhammer's expensive. It's an expensive hobby.
it can be.
Yes,
From what
it can be for sure.
Yeah,
like
I know some guys in the group are really into it, and because I think we were mentioning about Henry Cavill. He's a big Warhammer fan, and
yes,
I forgot. I think it was Killzone or somebody. One
Killzone.
of our
it is
Killzone and Sebzilla.
Yeah,
I've been getting into it.
Yeah, we've been chatting about it.
Yeah,
and they mentioned, I guess they were. I think they posted some stuff in the chat as far as like some
well,
figures that are
Killzone
going.
said that like the minifigures, which are the only ones I know of, that you actually like, that like diehard fans actually use. He says that Joy Toys or whatever it's called.
Joy Toy, yeah, they do the 118.
That's the one that's expensive, and I guess they do more 112, 118 scale or something like
that. Yeah, they do 118 scale, but Space Marines are so big that they're like a little bit bigger than most 118 scale figures. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I do play the tabletop game, and then I also
pull it back up. John, you know what I'm talking about. Pull it back up. Don't be cheap on me. Pull it back up.
Legend photography.
Does she come in booty cut in a booty cut one piece? No, she doesn't. She was not. She did not wear that in the show.
I have no idea.
That's the older She-Hulk. That's from the comics. That's not the.
Okay. I was like, there's no way that. I was like, I would have been the first to know.
That's like the Marvel versus Capcom She-Hulk outfit.
Man, I miss. I don't know. I miss when, like for instance, Marvel Legends, Emma Frost. Like we all know, like comic Emma Frost had like tatas busting out the seams and all that stuff, and now she's all covered and all
modest.
So you're modest. So I don't know. I
Man.
mean, especially for a '90s kid, you were programmed with like just like unproportionate.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a different era back then. Definitely
Those
was.
those Rob Liefeld proportions.
Rob Liefeld. Yeah. I love
Um,
that he's owned that Captain America cover. I'm glad he's
yeah,
like he makes a joke out of it. I'm glad he
yeah.
acknowledges that it sucks. Like it does suck. I'm sorry. I hope if he doesn't know that it's terrible. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely interesting, but in terms of like I thank God it wasn't he didn't like draw that in the actual panels. I only did the cover of it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That would have been insane to watch I mean to read in a panel.
Do you guys have this set? Did any of you guys pick up the Fantastic Four?
I think
No, not
you
yet.
yeah,
I'll say
weren't you
that.
getting a KT? Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna.
I'm going to, but I'm like, so I'm not like again, like I said in the beginning
Mhm.
of the podcast, I'm not a diehard Fantastic Four fan, so it's at the bottom towards the bottom list. There's just
Yeah,
other toys I'd rather get before it, but I want it for 300 ish. I don't want to pay 400 for it because I'm not a diehard fan. Like it's just
yeah,
that's a hard sell
Yeah.
for me. Um, 300, I can kind of swing it, or like take a little bit of the L in terms of spending 300 on it. But to be honest, like I'm sure, like I saw the reviews and I've seen people shoot it, and like I'm sure it'll be like Doom, where it's like I'm not an original fan, but the figures look fantastic.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I actually I talked a lot of crap about Fantastic Four as a comic book, because I think they're just this outdated IP.
Mhm,
But the figures look really fantastic. The
mhm.
way they engineered Mr. Fantastic, he's
Yes,
obviously like the one
yes,
I actually like kind of give a crap about. Um because everyone else is just like inferior in their power set. Like Human Torch is probably he's not like Human Torch is not touching Sunfire or any of the other fire based guys. Same thing with the thing like strength wise, he's not touching the Hulk. He's not touching
Right.
Juggernaut. Um, the only ones who actually have unique and are like in their own rights, like one of the omegas of their power sets is Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. I mean, Mrs.
mhm,
Fantastic is the only one in the game who really is killing it with the shields and the stuff. And then Mr. Fantastic, he's the only guy who can stretch out and be cool about it. Although I do prefer Plastic Man over Mr. Fantastic any day of the week.
He's got more
There's
personality.
Plastic Man
Um,
is like me. He's like he's a kind of an F boy. Like he's like he's always chasing girls, but at the same time, you know what I mean.
um,
That's a good shot. This
Killzone, that's from
is
Killzone. I
Killzone. Yep.
love
Yep.
I
Killzone.
love Killzone's Halo shots. Like I'm a huge
Yeah.
Halo fan, and I love just being able to just like give him like these like off color comments. Like I never understood the romance between Master Chief and Cortana, and
well, we're
I commented on like his recent one. I'm like, will you be my Cortana?
there's a name for this group, right? Like it not like
This one here.
Blade, Wolverine. Yes, that specific ensemble.
You mean Halo and Halo?
No, no, no. This shot we're looking at now.
Oh, Midnight Suns.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta shoot that Ghost Rider a lot more. I've been dragging my ass on that one.
But and so yeah, I think these are all Mezcos. This
Mezcos, yeah.
Wolverine, yeah, I've been seeing him a lot. It's like, oh man, that does look nice.
He is nice. Get him. Yeah.
No, I gotta save up for Dick Tracy and Prune Face. I think
You-
I think Toy X. I think he said or I think he's supposed to be dropping here soon. Or people are gonna. I think people are gonna start getting Prune Face here in a little while.
I'm
Really? You
waitlisted.
think
I hope I convert.
why are people such big Dick Tracy fans? Like that's so like
I
the
mean, it's
original.
like
No, go ahead.
me and Rob, man. We're in our 40s, and we grew up with the cartoon and the comics, and
There was a
also the
cartoon.
yeah.
Yep.
I thought
Yeah, I mean,
I only know
it,
the comic like from the 1920s, 1930s. I believe.
yeah. Now
And
there was a
then
cartoon, but
in
it
the
was
movie.
kind
Mhm.
yeah in the movie, but the cartoon it was a little bit more. You talk about different time period. I mean, racial. Uh, I mean, because it was all about. So Dick Tracy, like he would basically send out his sidekicks out to deal with the bad guys, right? And
Hmm.
so you had like a his Mexican character who was kind of like like Speed Gonzalez, and he was kind of just this, wearing a sombrero and all this. And you had a guy who was a like a Fu Manchu, or like doing that Japanese stereotype and all that, and like a short little guy with the glasses and everything. It just it wildly inappropriate. But I mean, I remember watching it as a kid. But there was the funny thing though is that yeah, Dick Tracy would always it would always open with him getting the call, and he would send out one of these sidekicks to go actual do the episode
Yeah.
and fight Prune Face
I
or
mean, I don't blame him. It was the whatever. It was created in the kind of the height of xenophobia of
yeah, 'cause maybe the
America.
60s. Yeah,
Yeah.
60s I think when it came out. But yeah, I mean, it's really just the time period we grew up in. I think that's where me and Rob, like, why we're kind of like we like a lot of the same things, just because yeah, we're just both in our 40s, and I always wanted like some really, really good Dick Tracy figures. Same with the Rocketeer. Rocketeer was another one I think he brought
Yeah,
up
but
in our
John,
chat.
you make yourself seem so old. Dude, you're only like 10 years older than me. Like,
That's the
you
hey
make it seem
man,
like
that's
you're like 80. Like, what are you talking about?
hey, I'm still old, man. I'll be 42 this year. So yeah.
You're like the same age as my oldest sister, so it's not like you're acting like you're
She
born
like
a
Dick
different
Tracy.
time.
No, another point about the Dick Tracy thing, what you were saying, Alex, earlier, is that like I think, you had Vaporoni, kind of that 1930s, 40s, 20s kind of
Mhm.
character. Then you have Prune Face coming out. You got Dick Tracy coming out. You got the Flat Top guy coming out. You got what's not the Spectre, but who's that other guy that's kind of like the
The
radio
Shadow.
drama? The Shadow. You got the Shadow
Shadow.
coming out. And so I feel like there's enough of these sort of like themed figures coming out for me to kind of be a little bit interested in, like, I wonder what shots I could put together with all these guys.
You know what's funny is so like I am familiar with Shadow because I watched the movie and
Yeah.
relatively recently actually DC has been trying to. I think they own the IP rights or they have the ability to use his public domain maybe, but they try to like shoehorn him in some special one shot stories. So I'm familiar with him, but it's just funny because my introduction was the movie with Alec Baldwin
Alec
playing
Baldwin.
the
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we all know the recent scandal of Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
So like, whenever I think about that movie, I think about the scenes when he's like shooting people.
Shooting.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. And there
No,
was
that's true. That's true.
there was another one during that
Alec
the one with
Baldwin's career ends the same way it started in my life.
Yeah, there was the Shadow that came out, and then there was
The Phantom. Remember
the
Phantom?
Phantom. Yes,
Phantom,
with Billy
yeah,
I
Zane.
there you go.
hated that
Billy
movie
Got
Zane,
around the
yeah.
so
same
much.
time.
It was so corny and like concept. It was just like a rip off. It was just a bad copycat of like Green Lantern almost
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
ring
Yeah,
powers.
yeah. But I mean, technically, I think he may have come first. But again, trying to get these like Dick Tracy and the Rocketeer and the Phantom, trying to get them in some sort of like viable franchise or live action series. It was just like they couldn't do it.
The ring shot out like a laser. That was like the only power. Wasn't that the only power? It shot out like a laser, and he was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
I gotta rewatch The Shadow though. Like I feel like that's a movie I rewatched. Dick
I
Tracy.
rewatched it. It was all right.
Listen, I am surprisingly disappointed that Flat Top is not a racist Asian design because I wanted it for that.
No.
I asked because at first I was like, yo, I'm getting that because we don't I don't there's no figures that look Asian that I can like rock. So I wanted that guy because he looks so like goofy. But then someone was like, nah, he's just white. He just
He's
has
just
like
got a weird head.
he just has
Yeah.
yeah he has a weird head. I was like, oh,
I mean, his eyes, he's got like little beady eyes, but that's kind of like that. That
He's
is
like,
the
yeah.
comic style of him.
if Hey Arnold grew up, it'd be Flat Top.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He has the comb
Yeah.
over and the little curls at the end.
But no, he went out like a beast in the movie though. I thought that was kind of like just a hail gunfire.
Yeah. Oh, a couple other, but okay. So the Spider-Man you just got, he's also, I feel like, will fit in that. Those Batmans that are coming out, all those retro Batmans, those are all going to fit in that same universe. And so I just feel like, I don't know. Again, there's so many coming out in that kind of style. I'm like, I might invest.
I mean,
Yeah,
dude, I bought this. I got this Spider-Man, and like I was ready to cancel it, but I was just like, I'm not a Spider-Man fan at all. So I was like, if I'm gonna get a Spider-Man, I'm also gonna get a Mezco one. But
because of what people have been saying about it.
Yeah, people have been crapping all over the figure. It is, I mean,
about the arms or like the suit.
Yeah, all right. So I'll show you right here. It's brand new, so just bear with me while I pop them open. I get what they're talking about. Like since Mezco has been doing so many heads that light up for their figures, um I feel like they've just in general made their heads bigger. So yeah, his head is a little big for the body.
Mhm.
Um the proportions, let me see, there's actually hmm. For some reason his like hip is like bigger than the other, but I'm hoping that's not a QC issue here. All right, I
Oh,
think it's fine. But yeah, you see like this?
Mhm.
yeah.
So I was gonna take the mask off. So I mean, he looks like golden what not golden age, silver age Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Sure.
Um I mean his posing, I'm sure it's not it's posing. So this is the farthest it can kick.
Not too
This is
bad.
this is the farthest it can bend. Not bad actually. With the bending, he
Yeah.
can touch his ass. I know how much you Spider-Man fans love it. So you Spider-Man fans drive me nuts. You want a Spider-Man figure that can like basically like suck his own. It's never enough articulation for you guys. Never
Just get
enough.
the Mofex. Just get the Mofex if you want that.
Yeah. Or even
No,
even the
you know
latest
how
one I
I feel
got
about
from
Mayfix. You
I'm
know
still
how
I'm saying like if somebody wants that, if that's what they want in a Spider-Man, just get that. Like Mezco's not going to
like
give that to you.
I mean, all
right.
right. So I'll put him in a like a whatever. I'll try to figure out if I can put him in a Spider-Man pose. Let's see. Let
Like
me
there's
see how
no
his
way
back.
you'll be able to get him really into a.
Like
That's
I don't know,
not bad. Yeah.
something like that. I don't know. Something like he's like shooting his whatever web and then.
But you definitely need to get the pose where it's like down on the ground like
But yeah,
that. Like you got.
he's not gonna be stick. His legs aren't gonna be above his head if that's where
Yeah.
that's the question we're asking. You guys drive me insane with the Spider-Man requirements. But yeah, he's not bad. I mean, compared to the original, the older release model, honestly, if I knew this was gonna have so many issues, I guess, or you know, I probably would have just went with the OG Mezco modern Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Since I bought the Miles that when they came the same time frame, and the Miles one has no issues whatsoever. I mean, it's great for what I use it for. I mean, but I mean, people said that for this one, and it's weird for this one. The shoulders after it's like it has the Deadpool issue where if you leave it, if I guess if you overwork it or if you leave it bunched up, the pleather is gonna crease and
Yeah.
possibly crack.
Hmm.
Which is weird because the original Spider-Man figs, the Miles Morales and the modern Spider-Man that they did, Jesus, 2016, 2017, like they don't have that issue. So it's such a bizarre, um, you know, difference. I don't know why that's the case, but I'm sure I'll for the way I pose it, I'm sure I'll be fine. So it is what it is. So I did get Green Goblin. So because this guy, I let this guy ran. I'm like, well, fuck. I guess I gotta let Green Goblin run.
It's
Because I'm like, all right, I'm already this deep. Might as well go in. Um, Green Goblin though, I'm looking forward just to use him with my Miles Morales because Miles is my favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the accessories though, I mean, like Fonk was even telling me he's like he might buy the if I wanted to, I could sell him the figure and just keep the accessories. And the accessories, I mean, it comes decked out. Like you got the web backpack,
That's awesome.
you
Oh, that's
got
cool.
the spider sense that you can pull that you can position back of its head. You even have newspaper.
That's
Um,
cool. That's very cool.
you have the you little skink you could put in there. I can't pull it out because it's a little hard, but you have the web parachute.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Web parachute, and then
Does it come with the camera?
yeah, yeah, the web parachute right there.
Okay.
I gotta take it out. Yeah, that one. Oh, here we go. I got it out. Web
Awesome.
parachute.
Yeah.
So you have that, and then oh yeah, you have the web mask where you can use on your bad guys. So that's cool. You have the traditional Peter Parker, like like his Spider Sense comic
Hmm.
look, where half his
Yeah.
face is masked up. What else we have? We have ooh, wow, it's actually kind of cool. They have the leather straps to go with the camera. Oh yeah, because they give you two cameras,
Oh,
two
two
camera
cameras.
options, two options, two different styles. And Chris, this might tickle your armpits, but
So wait, you can switch the strap out?
yeah,
That's wild.
Wow.
I know you like that.
I do.
And then every time I talk to Chris, I feel like I'm a stripper trying to sell myself.
I know you like that.
You know you want it, baby. Why you lie? And then you have a web shield. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And I think that's it. Yeah. Well, there might be one more. 1 second. Hold, bear with me. Oh, that's crazy. They give you two stands. They give you two stands. Yeah, they give you. Wow, that's crazy. They give you this, the stand, and then they give you this. God damn you! This weird like coaster. I don't know what this is supposed to be
Huh.
called.
Weird. That's
Yeah.
new.
It's it's flappy, as you can tell. And then let me see. 1 second. There's one more layer. Let me see this. Oh, here we go.
So many
Okay.
layers, man. Man, so
Oh,
many layers.
dude! Wow. So like wait, I Shiba. Okay. All right, let me just show it to the camera because I'm not gonna take all these out. But look at all the
Wow,
This is
that's a lot of
websites,
wild.
webs.
and you get the
That's a lot.
little spider tracers. Look at that. You get a whole tray of
Ooh.
them,
See, that just gets me
and you
so
get the
kind of,
spider mask. You get the mask that you can do the
Like he's like,
that famous issue where he quits being Spider-Man.
yeah.
yeah.
Just saying.
All those accessories, man, it just gets me kind of, I don't know. I get maybe I get anxious because like so much, like just I get
Overwhelmed.
overindulged with that, overwhelmed. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like with the Roblox and Destro that I got, I was like, oh my god, it's like I don't know. I don't know what to do with all this. I don't know if I can like shoot all this or what. I mean, it's like, or what, how I'm gonna pick and choose. It's just, yeah, I get overwhelmed.
Dude, I mean,
With,
you're in a better position. I have like, I don't even want to count how many Mexicos I have. I have almost all of them. And like, obviously I don't have there's not enough time to shoot every
yeah,
single capacity of accessories they come with. So,
Yeah.
I like the sometimes I like the limit, of accessories or hands or anything. Because then when I'm trying
Mhm.
to set up a figure, I just want to grab a figure and just set up and shoot. Like if I got an idea real quick, I just want to do it, and I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, okay, so do I get this hand? I have to do this, and then get this accessory to do this, and then it's
It'd
like
be like that
that's
though.
too
It really
many.
be like that.
Yeah, I mean, and then by then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with classified. It's easier. They just got,
Well, that's probably why you're always able to bust out so much content. I mean, like that's why for me it's a little bit slowed down. I have to like kind of like I can
yeah,
only get one figure an hour type of
Same.
deal.
Yeah.
I wish I could do more.
And then it's like I want to shoot a figure. It'll be in my display case. I'll be like, all right, I want to shoot him. But I need to change his left arm. And I'm like, all right, where's the box with the left arm? All right, the box with the left arm is
mhm,
in my closet. So I got to go in my closet, and then I got to take down. Like it's just this
yeah,
Yeah.
whole process, this whole thing.
I
yeah.
did that. I dealt with that recently when I had to shoot my Predator because
Mm,
I shot it once like a long time ago when it dropped and I never touched it again. So I had to
yeah,
like re-watch videos and figure out how things worked to like to
yeah,
shoot
yeah.
it again. But it's I don't know, it's cool, man. It's worth it. I love it, man. Once you've met once you've caught up to all the new figures you've gotten, it's nice to be able to go back to these old the other older
Yeah.
figures and shoot more of different styles and themed shots. So
Well, I have to head out, guys. Do
Yep.
we want to do a wrap up or?
sure.
Yeah. I think we're
um
at time now.
Yeah, so everyone who's joined, thank you so much for tuning in this week. As you guys have probably know, or if not, this will be our weekly show that Geeked Out Click will be hosting amongst the three of us. And basically, every week we just go over, we just bunch of dudes chilling, talking about toys. We spotlight our featured guests of the week, as well as people who post pictures in our Discord server or collab with our group as a collaborator for their posts. We like to hopefully spread some reach for the other people in the community, as well as go over any pop culture topics or new release figures. Pretty much anything nerdy, we go over it. So so
Speaking
stay
of
in tune.
Discord, where can they find that?
Oh, the Discord is located in our bio in our group page, as well as on my personal page, Night Terrors. Both pages, my main one, my backup. The YouTube channel as well is also linked in our group page bio, and as well as in my personal page bio. And John, I believe I think you may also have in your bio, maybe
Yep.
not. Yeah, so John has it
Yep.
too in his bio, and Chris, we'll get Chris in it. We'll get it in
I'll add it
Chris'
to my
bio.
bio. Why not? I want to be in the club.
Yeah. But yeah. Yep. So tune in for next week, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy the show. Have a good night.
Right.